little tapping with the pot with Tigmatic.
Y'all tune into the Pot Podcast. And guess what? There's an episode of me on
and you are tuned into the Pot Podcast.
And with the Pot Podcast with my boy Tigmatic. You hear me? It's going down.
To follow the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic.
That's that number one.
That's that number one.
Shots of Manolo, freshly fitted in polo. My money got O's like Ocho. EYI's the label, check out the logo. If you wanna bounce, bitch, pogo. Built this here on my own, ho. Step to the side, let me slide in this photo. Been a businessman, I got euros and peso. Real definition of a hustle flip, although might see me deep in my bag, Robert De Niro. Shooting at you niggas like Steph and Hero. Beef, I'm about that nigga deflate your ego. I'm out of state doing great, me and me go. Can't fast forward the game, there's no cheat code. Your bitch on my line all day, just like a free throw. It's over for you niggas, check the last bar, finito. And I fit right in. Knocked the bitch and we spent the night in. First night was like a burst of life. Second night, she invited a friend. You fake niggas all like to pretend. Don't mind me, I'm at it again. I'm ahead so close, all I see is the wind. It's a little too late for the competition. Not to mention, I've been penny pinching. With a sack so fat, I don't need attention. I got connects with Jordan, I'm the real pimpin'. Soaking in my thoughts, call it double dipping. Choose the right light, you can never lose sight. Take a leap of faith, it's great, you'll be alright. Pop the champagne, it's the ace of spade night. They betting on me like a Floyd Mayweather fight.
Any girl that wanted Dior, I'll be your whore. If you adore her, Dior her.
I'm elevating in my sleep. I wake up, I don't know which way to think. This is a calling for me. Thank God he did all this for me. Yeah. No hesitation when I reach. I'm thankful I'ma practice what I preach. This is a calling for me. Thank God he did all this for me. Yeah. Mama's only son, I love you even when I'm numb. I'm dumb, you look at me like son, that's an invisible hug, I'm still hard-headed. You worry how I'm living, them bars wasn't in prison, they hated my decisions. I'm stuck inside them walls, them calls nobody else would listen. But still look, I'm positive as a crook, the criminal let me cut, more problems stood as a crush. Excited, I roll with righteous killers who not corrupt. Charges they brought against me, memories lift me up, abusing my pain, voices is strange, poisonous rage. My heart is trapped in my socks and I'm failing my elder stage. Let homie don't make me bother you before I give you this game. On 10 again with my feelings, this business got supervisions. It's crazy how they count on gorillas who serve a sentence. Take care of family and women, the saddest shit I can't mention. R.I.P. to my pops, but mama used to the realest. I'm elevating in my sleep. I wake up, I don't know which way to think. This is a calling for me. Thank God he did all this for me. Yeah. No hesitation when I reach. I'm thankful I'ma practice what I preach. This is a calling for me. Thank God he did all this for me. Yeah. Free my nigga foolish doing 165. Swear to God I cried with my nigga and died. Money ain't shit if the family not tied. It may take some time if you vote on me, you blind. I tried again with so many attempts. Misery came, I ain't care about shit. Nothing can break me or tell me I quit. And fuck what they think, they just cap on the net. Too many liars, it causes chest pains. Nah, not my nigga, that's crazy. Life bring tears to your face in different stages. All this fake love can't rub on me, it's contagious. God, do you love me? Not proud cause the money. Sacrifice when I was hungry, humble, put the world before me. I put all this pain inside this grind, I know the devil hung me. I look through the rain, at times it's blinding, really all or nothing. I'm elevating in my sleep. I wake up, I don't know which way to think. This is a calling for me. Thank God he did all this for me. Yeah. No hesitation when I reach. I'm thankful I'ma practice what I preach. This is a calling for me. Thank God he did all this for me. Yeah.
All right, y'all, we here. Welcome to another episode of The Pot. And once again, it's your boy Tigmatic. We here. We moving and booming. And as always, this episode was brought to you by Collywood TV, Collywood Radio, Collywood Music, DDS, Chess Music Management, Going In Radio, and Dollar Radio. Listen, we here. We moving and booming, y'all. So, I got a guest, y'all, and he's a soulful singer out here. But before I get into that, I hope y'all enjoying your Monday. You know, it's the start of the week. We moving and booming as always. And positive vibes only. You already know. We out here applying pressure, you know, in the mental health space to make people talk about mental health. So, if you're just tuning in for the first time, this is the show that talks the struggles artists and businessmen and women go through while having to entertain the world or pursuing their career. And once again, I am your host, Tigmatic. So, like I said, I have a soulful singer out here. He got the voice, you know what I mean? He got the sound. So, he's here to talk with me tonight. And I hope y'all enjoy this conversation because we're going to get into it tonight, y'all. And one of the good things about having a singer is you can talk about so many different things because you want to know where they get their sound from, their ideas, and the context of their music. So, without further ado, I give you Chris Ivy. What's going on, good brother?
What's good, Tig?
Hey, man, what's going on with you? Welcome to the pot.
Hey, man, it's a blessing, brother. Thanks for having me. No doubt.
Hey, man, listen, I like to let my guests give themselves a formal introduction. So you have the floor. Introduce yourself to those that never seen you or heard you before, and let's get into it.
Okay. Well, my name is Chris Ivy, a.k.a. Mr. Grown and Sexy. I mean, that's pretty much because I try to cater to music to the grown and to the sexy, man. It's a pleasure being here. Been doing music for about 15 years professionally. And like I said, I'm just excited every time I get a chance to rock the mic or have a hot interview like the one we finna have tonight. But it's a blessing. I get turned up.
Oh, man, that's what's up. And I'm glad you're here, good brother. So welcome once again. Tell the people where you're from.
I'm from the M-I, crooked letter I, crooked letter I, sip, I all day long, baby. Mississippi. I'm from a little small town, Tig, Moorhead, Mississippi. Population probably 2,500, man. That's including cats, dog, and mosquitoes and all this. So very small town.
Oh, man, that's dope. You're from Mississippi. So
Yeah.
why don't you tell us a bit about what growing up in Mississippi was like?
Well, came up in a single parent household with my mom. She was a young mother at the time, so she didn't really know much about, raising children. So thank God I had the help of my grandparents. They pretty much kind of took on their responsibility and helped out a whole lot. But I did see the struggles for my mother, and I wanted to help all along as a little boy. I wanted to help out, as much as I could, and that's still a dream of mine to this day. So what I did, I know I didn't have my father wasn't around. I chopped cotton, man. 12 years old, doggone hole with them. I'm not talking about the female version. I'm talking about the garden tool. Was taller than me, brother. So I was out there chopping cotton, man, from let's say 8, 9 in the morning to 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon at the age of 12 for $20 a day.
Wow. So chopping cotton, what was that experience like? Because that's something that our ancestors did for a long period of time. So
Right.
can you give people a brief experience of what that was like?
Well, for me, especially being as green and young as I was, it was an experience that taught me how to be a man. It was tough, man, because actually what you do, you don't really just chop the cotton. There are such as the weeds and vines and stuff like that along the roads that when it's time to pick the cotton, it kind of gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So the job is really just to clear everything that's not cotton away from around the cotton. So I mean, it's long days, brother. I mean, it's hot. I mean, there's no breaks, other than maybe one lunch break. But like I said, you out there from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., man, for only $20 a day.
Oh man. But look, for a young buck, that's ambition to hustle.
Well,
You know?
I just started trying to learn how to play basketball a little bit. So, I wanted those J's, man. So, I had to try to help moms the best way I could.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hey
sir.
man, salute to you for helping Mom Dukes. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely admirable when you want to go out there and help your folks. You
Right.
know? So, was music a form of escape or therapy for you as a kid?
I didn't realize it at first, but now just looking back, I can see that it truly was. So I grew up loving pretty much R&B. Listen to all the groups, New Edition, High Five, Troop, um, H Town, which is my favorite. And then as I got, a little older, R. Kelly, things like that, people like that, man, they had a major influence in developing my craft.
Oh man, that's what's up. That's definitely dope. So, what age were you when you knew that you could sing? How old were you?
To be honest, I think I was maybe 30. Because
Really?
before the end, it was just pretty much, hanging out around different parties and, just listen to people tell you that you could sing because I didn't really hear myself, on a recording or anything. But, sometimes people can be kind of, hagging you on, just boosting you along. And, they may say you sound good when you really sound the total opposite. But when I actually got a chance to hear myself on a recording, I'm like, whoa, this, I'm kind of high for real.
Okay. Okay. So, were there any specific challenges you faced growing up that still influence your music today? And
Yeah.
if you had someone to compare your style to, who would you say that is?
Well, I would have to say I'm like a blend. I will take a little Kels as far as with his stage presence because he had a stage presence like no other, and some Medino vocals mixed with a little Chris Ivan. So I'm like a mixture probably between a little R. Kelly and Dino of H Town.
Okay. So back to the first part of the question. Let's talk about the challenges you faced growing up that still influence your music.
Hard work, and as being that little kid out there at 12 years old, chopping cotton, it was plenty of times that I wanted to go home and quit. But that was just the beginning stages, just knowing that life itself and things that I wanted to do was going to be hard. So me kind of jumping in at that age and sticking with it, it just developed a fire in me that no matter what I, set out to accomplish, ain't no quitting. There's no giving up. I got to give it all that I got until I take my last breath.
I hear that. I hear that. So, who were some of your biggest influence? Not just musically, but personally, though. Like, give us during your upbringing and musically. So, give me a little bit of both.
All right. Well, for me, it was my grandfather. Even though he had only um, a sixth grade education, he was pretty much the man in my city. He did some things, but he took care of his family. And no matter what, people used to come. We was loan shark and then we were bootleg at that time. So just anything that the people needed, they came to my grandfather for. And actually, we got a satellite back in 1984. And this guy had a vision that even before they started with the different movie rental places, such as down here in this area, we had like a movie gallery, a Blockbuster to come and rent, VHS tapes. But my granddad was already recording those tapes and stuff like that, and he would rent them out to the people.
Okay. So it was always a hustle around you.
Right.
Oh man, that's so sad. All right. So musically, let's give me the influences musically. Well, you gave me some. H-Town was one. Give me a little bit more.
Well, I would say
Give me about three.
R. Kelly, and if you know the blues or you listen to any blues, it was Marvin Cease. And
Okay.
so I used to wonder why my mother was always around smiling when a song came on by the name of Candy Liquor. And I'm like, why is this grown woman is smiling, about this song? So as I got a little older, I realized it went way over my head. She wasn't smiling about some candy. She was smiling about a little something else, But as far as that actors, I love some Denzel Washington. No matter whatever that guy roles he played, he's gonna make you feel like he's right there. And Al Pacino, I love his vibe, mafia type moves and stuff like that. So I love those type of guys, and they just really inspire me.
Okay. So these people that inspired you helped shape your sound.
Right.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah, that's definitely cool. All right. So how did your environment shape the emotions you put into your songs?
Life deals a lot of cards. Some are good and some are bad. You just have to kind of have the faith and the kind of holding in the road, if you know what I mean. Because I've always, at an early age, I wanted to sing, and I never really knew how that was going to happen. Especially, getting on up in age. Like I said, it was 30, age 30, 31 before I even recorded, and that was pretty much. I'm not gonna say it was an accident, but it was God, man. Because I had some friends. I had some friends that they wanted to form a cover band. And, I was like, okay, this sounds good. And really what they would do, they would just be going around singing other people's music. And they heard I had a pretty good voice. So I went to a few rehearsals, and after a while, I wasn't feeling it. So I kind of fell off the scene. And that was around back in 2006, 2007. But it's just the urge to sing. It was just in me, man, burning like a knife stuck in me. I just felt like I had to get back in there and try it. So when I went back to the place where we was rehearsing it, my friend had started a studio. He built a studio, and they was recording. And actually, that was my first time ever stepping foot in a studio. And they was working on a young man's rap CD. And I was just very intrigued about the whole deal. And I didn't know that I would get my opportunity. But I was just hanging around and I was listening. And the producer at the time, the name of young guy by the name of Humming Boy, real name is Travell Williams. He needed a ride home from the studio. And after I gave him a ride to the house, we were just talking, man. And we stayed up to about maybe 3 o'clock just talking about music and ideas, and we got on about to sing Dino from H-Town.
Right.
And he like, yeah, like word. I said, yeah, that's my guy. He like, man, Connor was a bad man, which he was. You know what I mean? And so I just hit a little note for him, like, give me some good love. He said, dude, so man, I'm gonna make you into a household Southern soul name. And at the time I didn't know what Southern soul was. I've heard of the blues. But I said, hey, you feel like you could do it, dude? Let's go. I've been waiting on this type of opportunity. And man, the rest was kind of history. He was a man of his word.
Oh man, that's awesome. So let's talk about some places you perform. Tell the people about some spots you to perform and things you've done out here a bit. Break it down a bit.
Okay, well, like I said, I've been up towards up with a whole lot. I had a manager. He's from Fayetteville, North Carolina. His name is Jerry Flood. Jerry took me all through all kind of parts of North Carolina up through Virginia. Um, I've been to Des Moines, Iowa, all through Texas, Florida, the Louisianas, Alabamas. It's probably about a few places that this soul music is really just popping that I hadn't been, and I'm looking forward to getting there real soon. So, out of about 15 places that I know that's booming, I know I probably visited about 10 of those major states.
Okay. So you've been around a bit, moving around a bit.
All right. I consider myself is like a kind of like a scattered thunderstorm.
Yeah.
And my goal is to go out something like a tsunami.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. I like that. I like the way you put that. All right, here's my next question to you. Do you find that writing and performing your music helps you deal with the anxiety, depression, or personal struggles?
Of course. Of course. When anytime you get out there and you get a chance to relate to the crowd and get their attention. Yeah, I mean it helps. I don't know about others, but it definitely helps me a lot, man, because I can see it's like a natural high when I get the microphone in my hand and and the crowd and the people are connecting with me. It's kind of like I almost don't want to get off stage.
Yeah. So you get your energy. Do you get your energy from feeling the music or the crowd?
Both. Now
Okay.
I'm a little naturally hyped myself, but it's just like everything else, man. If you got people egging you on, you're gonna get a little bit more energy. You know what I mean? So most of the places I've kind of been to, where I haven't, been the headliner, and with most of these gigs that's going on now, they are more accustomed and they're more welcome to the person that they're hearing on the radio the most. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
with me, it's more like I don't really know how to take this guy. He sounds good, but I'm just not kind of familiar with some of the music. But anyway it go, my mama prepared me at a long time. She said, baby, everybody's not gonna like you or they're not gonna like your music, So you just go out there when you get that opportunity and do the best you can do and just
That's right.
leave the rest up to the people.
That's right. You don't worry about the naysayers,
Right.
And I say this a lot on the show, pressure makes gold. So, sometimes a part of the pressure can be the hate, but you just brush it off your shoulders and do what you need to do and entertain those that feel what you do. You know what I'm saying? So I commend you for, traveling, doing your thing, man, because good music definitely needs to be heard out here. So that's cool within itself, man. All right, so here's my next question. Has there ever been a time where your mental health almost made you walk away from music?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, if we go back just maybe 5 or 6 years ago, 2019 was pretty much the start of it. I lost my grandmother, and even though I say grandmother, she was pretty much like moms to me because she pretty much raised me. So I was just got a nice song. I was very excited about this song called "Good Love," and man, it sounded good. And I got in the studio and we killed it. So right before it was time for it to be released, she passed. And that really took a toll on me. But kind of in the same way, I knew that she was older, And, once you have that relationship with God, you don't want to see the people that you love suffering, So even though it was hard, because I miss her still to this day, but I know that she's in a better place. Now, let's fast forward to a year later. So right 2 days after Mo 3 got gunned down, November 11th, 2020. I was usually we play spades at my house. When I'm not on the road, we love spades and dominoes and just having a good time. And but that night my wife, she didn't want to play cards that night. So I got out with a friend of mine. But when I tell you, T, from earlier that day, it was something I couldn't explain. It was a feeling that was over me, brother, that I never felt before. And it just would not let me go. And at this time I'm doing, dangerous work. I'm, with heavy machinery. I'm operating cranes. I got 5,000 pound dial over my head. So I was like, well, Lord, I hope nothing don't happen, at work. So when I made it home from work, I said, thank you, Lord. I made it home safely. And when I found out my wife didn't want to play cards, I got in the car with a friend of mine. And we went to a couple of house parties. And I'm usually the life of the party pretty much everywhere I go. And I just wasn't feeling, man. I was standoffish. I'm kind of watching everybody, it just I wasn't myself. So we started talking about the Mo 3 incident later on that night. And I would say shortly, a little after midnight, after just kind of being paranoid, I finally made it home. And I was like, well, God, I thank you. Get me home safely. And mind you, I had been in a car with a good friend of mine where we had 3 accidents together. So I was like, Lord, I know this ain't finna be it. But like I said, I survived it as well. And I laid down and like I said my prayers and I went to sleep. And I woke up the next morning about 6:30 to the worst news of my life, man. I had a brother. Well, we was raised as brothers, but the closest thing to a brother that I had. I was born September 8th, 76, and he was born September the 30th. I'm talking about we was jam. And I woke up to find out that he had been shot and killed. So that feeling that was over me, I didn't understand what it was until the next day, to the next morning. So, and I went to a place to where my head hurted for about 3 weeks. I just sit there, just tore up, and actually I'm still tore up to this day, because it wasn't nothing that we couldn't talk about. I mean, we never argued, we never did none of that. We were just cool, and just knowing how he left here, man, by some young guy, they just had a disagreement at work, and the guy was 26 years old, and we had just turned 44, and he decided that he wanted to end it, man. And now at that time, honestly, I thank God for my career and everything that he had blessed me with. But if I could have did something I didn't have no business doing, thank God I didn't, I would have. So but at the end of the day, I'm thankful that God had his hands around me to know that wouldn't be, the right move. And it hurts mentally because my aunt, his mom, she's one of the sweetest ladies, that you will ever meet, man. But to hear her scream out like that, my family, we don't bother nobody, we don't get into kind of trouble, but it's different when you have somebody taken away from you like that, man. It's
absolutely
mentally, that took a big toll on me because honestly, like I said, I already just say forget this music. I wanted to find, who did that and be on something else. But, thank God that he changed my mind and changed my heart.
Amen.
Amen.
Listen, I want to say, first of all, my condolences on you losing your friend, you know, because I can relate to losing someone. My friend died in my arms, and when I lost him, it put me in a space where it was hard to get back from. I cut my emotions off from the worst, most of the world, you know, and didn't really speak on a lot, you know. So I understand how when things happen to people that we love and really care about,
Right.
it just puts you in a crazy mental space. So I understand that. So my condolences once again. And
Thank you, brother. And sorry for
yeah,
your
man,
loss.
it wasn't meant for you. It wasn't meant for you to, you know, go that other route, because you're doing what you're doing now, and God put you on the path that He wanted you to be on. So, you know, I commend you for not making a bad decision that could ultimately change your life in another way. You know what I'm saying? So, how did you overcome it, though? Tell me what
Prayer.
did you do to overcome it?
Prayer, man, a lot of prayer and just a lot of talk with God, you know. Honestly, and slowly, you know, I started to see the light because, I mean, if you want to say the devil had me, he had me, and I was ready to do whatever, you know. But just a lot of talks with God, man, and you know, it don't happen overnight. You know what I mean? But if you just stay prayed up and you have to have a consistent relationship and constant talks every day, because it don't take but a few seconds to change your whole life, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It definitely only takes a few seconds. And one bad decision, like I said, one bad decision can change the course of your life forever. And you don't want that, you know?
For real. And that's what a lot of, you know, our young brothers, we don't understand. Like, you know, once you mess up, the devil, he's on to the next person. He's like, I'm done with you. You
That's
done
a
threw your
fact.
life away. Let me
That's
go
a
get
fact.
somebody else. I'll holler at you.
You
I'm
know,
done.
his biggest trick is to trick you out of your position.
Right. The master, what they call him, the master of
That's
deception.
big master of deception. You know, so it's a good thing that your faith kept you grounded and you didn't go that route, man. I'm a firm believer in God as well, you know, and Jesus is the reason I'm still here. You know, I got shot in the head, man. I'm still here. I'm doing some great things with some great people. Speaking of which, what's up, y'all? We got some comments going. I'm gonna play them because I know you couldn't see them while you were going on, so I'm
Okay.
gonna post them. We got Hard Time Entertainment. What up, y'all? You know, this is the second time they've been on watching the show, so I appreciate y'all. What's popping? So we got Let's Talk Blues and R&B, Lady C. You know, Hard Time says Chris can't wait to work with you. Hard Time says what it do, bro. And Lady C says, "Yep, good love is fire." So yeah, you know, what's your support team like?
Well, it's strong now. It wasn't what it needed to be, but that's when God removed a lot of the waste and put the great stuff around you, man. So now it's time. It's number up from here. Tig. Believe that.
For sure, for sure. So how do you protect your mental space when you're creating verses, when you're performing publicly?
What I
How do
do,
you protect your space?
what I do, like I said, I'm a people's person. And but what I like to do is just kind of get off to myself, you know. And I don't never want anyone to feel like I'm acting funny or stuck up, but I just have to get in that zone because I take what I do very seriously. You know what I mean? So I just try to, you know, get in and meditate and just stay focused. And I want to hit that stage like bam. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And just give it to them. Now after then, oh, let's party. Let's chop it up. Let's talk. Let's do whatever. But I have to get my me time in. So every performance. and I always like to take that performance like it's my first performance, because you just never know who's gonna be out there and who's watching, and I've been doing this so long to where I don't care if it's 10 or 15 out there or 30,000. I'm gonna give them the best version of Chris Ivy.
That's what's up, man. Hey, Fabian, shout out to my guy. What up, Fab? He says, "What's good? We rocking with you, King."
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate everybody.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's the team. The team definitely is a great support over here for me as well. So, we moving and booming. As always, shout out to y'all and everybody that watched. Thank y'all for your support. Thank y'all for your love. And I couldn't be here without y'all. So, it's a good thing that you cut that waist off, like you said, Chris, and you got that support that you need now, and you can rock the way you need to rock and performing. Which one do you love more? Do you love recording or performing more? And tell me why.
I think it's a tie, Tig, to be honest with you, man. I knew the song was fire, but the team that was around me when we was putting that song together, they was pretty cool. And just to be able to create that magic, because I feel like the music is a feel. We were able to capture that feel, and now I can pretty much mimic that feel, no matter how many times I perform it.
Yeah.
And just to see people, the reaction of the crowd when I go to perform it, even if it's their first time, it's just a great feeling.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. Like old Steph, when he leaves the hand, when he knows it's going in, it's almost like one of those feelings.
Okay. Yeah, and you're a vibes person because you talked about the energy. So I can see that. I think that's a dope thing. If you're very confident, the way you speak on yourself when it comes to this music thing, you have some confidence, and you definitely gotta have that going on into this industry. All right, so here's my next question. Solo Dolo Cam. Let's go back to this Solo Dolo Cam. All right. Did you have support systems around growing up that encouraged your dreams, or was it more of a battle?
It was always my grandmother and my mom's. They pretty much, made sure, that I had what I needed and encouraged me to always kind of, shoot for your dream. Just never, ever quit. Always stay prepared. Just no matter how hard it get, don't give up. We don't do no quitting. We can't define it. There's no definition for quitting.
Right.
Not acceptable.
That's right. Oh man, that's dope. So
and then, can't that word don't exist in our vocabulary. We don't.
That's a big one I go by as well. It ain't nothing I can't do. I could do whatever. You know what I'm saying? And with Christ, I can go even further. So, that part. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Yeah. So, do you think mental health was something people talked about in your community when you was younger?
No. They didn't really talk about it. If so, maybe they kind of kept it on the wrap, or maybe talk about it among each families and stuff like that. But I wouldn't really worry about mental health until I got, grown and mature, and now more people are more open to kind of talk about it, because sometimes people had left this world because they felt like they didn't have anyone to talk to. But I'm glad that now we have all kind of hotlines and resources to help somebody that's struggling. Even just 1-800 numbers where it could be anonymous. Somebody to talk you down or talk you through whatever you're going through.
Okay. So, how did you cope and find ways to open up when you didn't feel understood? If that ever occurred for you, what did you do?
Well, at first, I'm gonna say when I come up, I was I had acne real bad, you know, and kids, you know, kids can be cruel, you know. But for me, it was just going through it. Of course, there were times to where it bothered me, but you know, I realized like this is the way God made me. So what it did, it formed me unto the person and to the man I am today. You know, because my mother would take me to the dermatologist, and like the first year, it cleared my skin up, and okay, I'm back to looking nice, whatever. And so the next year, the spots and they came back. Oh man, it came back even worse. You know, so at that point, I told my mother, I said, we're not going back over there dealing with that no more.
Right.
At that time, my name is Chris Ivy, but my friends or everybody know me as IV. And that's when IV was born. And that came from you either gonna like me for me or you can just go do something else different. Cause it didn't matter at that point.
Yeah. So at that point, how did you handle it?
I feel like that was my crossroad, man. I embraced it. I embraced it, you know.
Good.
Hey,
Good.
you know, whatever, bad skin, whatever, I mean, you either gonna like it or you can just go the other way. But somehow or another, I don't know how it happened to you. I always found to have a nice looking lady. You know what I mean? So maybe I don't know how, you know, so it kind of killed my confidence at first, but you know, once IV was born, he couldn't be stopped, you know.
I had to throw that out there like, look, I ain't never had no mug duck.
All right.
Oh man, that was good. All right. So are there any specific routines, meditation, therapy, you know, or just unplugging, my bad. How do you stay grounded?
Well, number one, you know, like I said, man, I'm always my mom gave me this book. Well, actually, she used to send me little pages from it every day, and I asked her what it was, and it was Jesus Calling book. And even though I had this book for over 5 years, just reading this book every day, it just seemed like it's something different. If that makes sense to you, you know. So every day that either from losing my grandmother to losing my brother, I still read this book every day, and I tell you, it helped tremendously.
I hear
I'm
that.
a prayer because
Oh,
it puts your mind to where it feel like God is talking to you every day. You're having a one-on-one conversation.
yeah. A one-on-one conversation with God is definitely important.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
that one-on-one can give you so much clarity. And a lot of times we be needing that clarity in that one-on-one time just to get understanding on where we're supposed to go and what we're supposed to do next. So I agree with you 1000% on that. And yeah, man. All right. So if you could give a letter to your younger self about life, mental health, and music, what would you say?
Yeah, um, I would say, calm down, young man. Calm down and slow it down. Calm down and slow it down. You know, honestly, T, I can see today what I couldn't see back then, and and it all make sense because I wouldn't have been able to handle the success back then as I would today. You know, and that's why I say that God is not going to, you know, just say if you got a cocaine addict, he ain't finna supply this guy with cocaine because he knows what's gonna happen to him. You know
Right.
what I mean? He's gonna OD, And back in the
Right.
days, I like women, man, and you know what I'm saying.
That was your
So
kryptonite, huh?
and that was Superman. I'm weak like SWV through, but now as a 48-year-old man, I've learned to kind of resist those urges and stuff like that because it's just so dangerous out here in the street. But if I had been the man I am today back then, it would have helped a whole lot. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
a lot of mistakes that I made, over these years, man. And one thing I see, a lot of people they still chasing. I'm like, I got some friends that they still chasing. I'm like, dude, you ain't gonna be able to get them all. Every time
Right.
you open, you're gonna see a beautiful, you're gonna see a fine woman, but at some point, you just gotta develop some kind of discipline, man. Just be, just
Self-control.
grateful. Yeah, be grateful for what you got, man, and be blessed.
Yeah, man, I agree. Sometimes us men definitely can be greedy. I'm putting it out there. Yeah, I'm saying it.
Right.
Now, I ain't one of them. I've been with my wife for 20 years.
That's
15
the
years
blessing.
of marriage, 20 years together. Just celebrated our anniversary last week.
That's all right, but
Shout out to you, Queen. I love you. But yeah, man. I think it's dope that you speak on self-control and know what your weakness is. Because if you don't say what your weakness is, you can't fix anything.
right. And like I said, the importance of like this podcast, man, it could help somebody. It could help somebody that's in their 20s about to get ready to get a bag or something. You know what I mean? You just gotta stay woke, man, and make better decisions. We all as men, women, or whoever, we just got to make better decisions, man. You only got one life.
Right.
And that's ain't no reset. You know what I mean? That's it. I look at my man, a big Shannon Sharp fan. I'm looking at the mess he going through right now. You know what I mean? It's all about decisions.
Decisions.
And whether or not he did what she said, it was just still a bad decision. And I love Shannon to death, but it was just a terrible decision.
Yeah. Hey, man. So when it's all said and done, how you want people to feel emotionally and mentally about your music?
I want people when they pop that Chris Ivan on, I want them to say, you know what? That's a bad son of a gun. And I can tell that he worked hard to deliver this, and he want us to feel good. And I want them to appreciate it for years and years to come. Cause I got one that's definitely and it's called Mississippi Lit. And that song was inspired because, being from around here in this area, you have a lot of DJs and stuff, and people, they don't want to help you unless it's something in it for them.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
So I have all this good music in the world. Like I said, I'm not with a big record label. I don't have a lot of payola. I'm just a hardworking man. And they would rather keep your music on the shelf instead of, getting it out to the world to hear you, just not knowing that the type of guy that I am, Tig, I'm gonna bless you. If you help me get on, I'm the type of man I'm remember that. You know what I mean? So just because I don't, I didn't have a big label, didn't have the money to pay you, rather keep my music or try to hold me down. So that song Mississippi Lit, it meant a lot. It reminded me of that young boy that was 12 years old in the cotton field for $20 a day. And what that song truly means is I'm too legit to quit because I am Mississippi lit. And that's that spirit, that's that fire that's in me that won't go out until I take my last breath, and it's still gonna burn after I'm gone.
Oh man, that's dope. You saying what you just said actually made it so that I didn't have to ask my next question. That next question was going to be, was there a particular song of yours that was born out of a really tough emotional place?
Right. And yeah,
So,
it was Mississippi Lit, man, because um I'm just gonna be honest, it was in our area, it's Greenwood, Mississippi, and Greenville. And I will say that every artist, and I'm not gonna say no name, but most of every artist that came around during that time, 2010, 2011, 2012, just about everybody who had a hit record was able to get on the big stage, where it's televised, this, that, and the third. And it really kind of helped jumpstart a lot of their careers. Everybody
yeah.
except me. Except me. You know what I mean? And a lot of time, hey Chris, why you not on? I mean, I guess they don't want me on. You know what I mean? So it's cool. So I don't run up behind nobody. I just go to where I'm appreciated and leave it at that. Yeah, because I know it's not a lack of talent. We pretty much know what it is, but I can't control that. I don't worry about nothing I can't control. I'm just
Let's
waiting
Talk
on.
Blues and R&B says, Virgo all day, we are different.
You already know, see? Big Virgo, baby.
Big Virgo, huh? I'm a Cancer.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So, we kind of move sort of the same, in a lot of ways, but in a lot different. But, two more questions. What do you? This is off of my regular questions. This is off the dome right here.
Okay.
What's in the cards for the future, or what are your future plans, if you will, for Chris Ivy? Can you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah. I've always been a team player, or believe that you could reach your goals faster by hard work and teamwork is most important. And that's with the also being honest. I can write music. I can sing. I can record, but I'm not good at marketing. You know what I mean? Promoting. That's not my strong point.
Right.
But now that God has blessed me with a team to go out here and help with it, and y'all can look out. No doubt, they can look out because it's coming. That storm that they've been trying to hold back for so long is about to be unleashed, baby. It's about to be unleashed.
Hey man, we're going to talk about it. And Fabian just made a vital point, and I agree with him and second that emotion. Being as though we are the owners here, I'm going to post it up here for you to read it yourself. I think I can speak for Tig as well, but we would love to have your music on our station, King, going in radio. That's a fact. We would definitely love to have your music on our station, and we'll play it, put it in rotation, get it moving and booming. Y'all hear it first, right here. This is what we do. This is what we do. So we support the artists. We're all about supporting the artists, big or small. It don't matter. But this is really the home of the underdogs. And this is how we do here. And there's a lot of talented people out here. So, that goes without saying. So
All right.
we would love to have your music playing on the station if you're down, brother.
Oh, I'm down. I'm down like 4 flat tire, bro. I'm with all that.
Right. Last and final question. If it's one thing life has taught you, what is that and why?
To be consistent. To be consistent at whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? Because if you lack off or stop, I wouldn't be blessed to meet the team that I have today. You know what I mean? If like, oh man, it's just getting, a little too hard. Let me just take a break, So that came from, even though when I was 12, out there in the cotton field, even though it got rough, I had to just keep on pushing,
Yeah.
on pushing. And you look at it, a lot of people would say 15, 16 years in the music business is a long time. But one thing about it, God's time ain't on my time.
God's time is never our time.
That's right. So, just staying consistent and keeping the faith. That's it, bro. That's all I can say about that. You know what I mean?
Hey, man. Listen, Chris, it was dope to have you, man. You got to come back, brother. You definitely got to come back on the show. I got another show starting the pot. I got some things mixed up. I didn't put some things together, and it's a different show with a different format. I finally got it formatted the way I want it. So we about to hit people with that on Saturdays. So yeah, man, I would love to have you on Stirring the Pot, where when gems are dropped, we start like this,
Yes.
every time a gem is dropped. And yeah, man, we share music and positivity as well on there, but we share the music more. It's gonna be a countdown and all types of things and that show the way it's formatted now. So yeah, man, I would love to have you on there as well. We can get it moving on there. We can play some of your tunes on the show and get it rocking that way, man.
Consider it done, King. Let's get it, baby.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Hey,
yes, sir.
man, anything else you want to say to the people before we go?
Hey, I would like to say to y'all, thanks for tuning in tonight, and put your ears open, leave them wide open for that boy, Chris Ivy, a.k.a. Mr. Grown and Sexy. And if you want to give yourself a treat, just cue it in just like it's on the screen. Chris, last name IVY, and just go to YouTube and check out some of my tracks. Guarantee you won't
want
be
to give them a little sample or something real quick?
Hey, my throat a little dry right now, but let's see what we can do.
Hey.
I had one called The Turn Road, and that was one of my very first hits that I wrote. And it called You Can Look Crazy, or you can turn up your nose, but you ain't never made love till you did it on a turn road. I had to beat it up. Yes, I did. Beat it up on a turn road.
Okay. That's a little something for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Go on the platform and check him out. Hey, Chris, man. Thank you once again. This was a delightful interview. It was great to meet you. Great to chop it up with you, man. And this won't be the last time y'all see Chris, y'all. So, Chris, I need you to turn your camera off, mute your mic, but don't hang up.
Got you, brother.
All right.
Peace, y'all. One.
All right. Once again, it's another one, y'all. Another one for the books. We hear y'all. And once again, this was brought to you by Collywood TV, Collywood Radio, Collywood Music, DDS, Chess Music Management, DamaniBrand.com, North Shade Demore Beauty, and the Podcast with Tigmatic. And I'm your boy, Tigmatic. I want y'all to have peace, love, and be the light in someone else's life, man. Peace.
Introducing the all-new, all-natural Rap Patch. The smoking bandage for broken, stale, cracked, torn, cigars, cones, cigarettes, wraps, you name it. Here we have a stale cigar with 2 holes in it. We're going to take our brown paper wrap patches and we're going to tear it in half because a little goes a long way. You lick the shiny adhesive side of the wrap and then you apply it to the damaged area, smoothing it over as you go, like you see me doing here, to get all the air bubbles out and to make it a complete airtight seal. We're going to take our other side of our wrap patch and do the exact same thing with the other hole. These are our brown papers. And now we have a completely new fixed cigar. No need to throw it out, no wasting money. Now we have the same cigar, completely broken in half. And these are our white colored papers. As you see, the shiny adhesive side is the side that you lick. Hold your piece of your damaged smoking vessels together. Apply the wrap patch. And it doesn't even have to be perfect. These are how well and how good the wrap patches adhere. Smooth it around. You can add heat to speed up the drying process. But like we have here, a completely fixed, airtight sealed cigar. Odorless, tasteless. It's a game changer, y'all. Get yours now. TheWrapPatch.com. Patent pending.
Catching a wave, sun shining all on our faces. We done been all type of places. Travel the world, we look down on the world. Clouds in the sky, I make you feel so alive, yeah. Baby, no worries, no cries, yeah. I put you onto the vibe, yeah. It's no better feeling than you being next to me. Leaving footsteps in the sand on the beach. Ocean view with the world in your reach. Float away like a boat on the sea. What you want, happiness is the key. Wind blowing, got you feeling like you're free. Come with me and I can put your mind at ease. Come with me and I can make you feel at peace. Ayy. Ooh wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine. I say, ooh wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine. Flow like the wind and the breeze. Come and get closer to me, babe. Ooh wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine. Yeah. Girl, I come in like the tide. Surfing the waves and we ride, yeah. You have the time of your life, yeah. Watching the sun as it rise, yeah. You're mesmerized. Love how our spirits align, yeah. You make me feel so sublime, yeah. You got the glow, girl, you shine, yeah. Listen to the sound of water crashing on the shore. This is what it's like with a man that's mature. I can give you feelings that I know you never felt. Sitting in the sun and your heart start to melt. It's a vibration when your hand touch mine. Girl, you're so vibrant and I love how you shine. Just enjoy the moment cause it feels so divine. This the kind of vibe that everybody wants to find. Hey. Ooh wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine. I say, ooh wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine. like the wind and the breeze. Come and get closer to me, babe. Ooh, wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine. Ooh, wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine. I say, ooh, wee, baby, let's go vibe in the sunshine.